Hello, Steve Pest here. I told you I was going to get more on the scrummer situation in Texas. So here it is. Veterinary sources pose scrummer vulnerability to Texas. I think it's supposed to be veterinary sources poses acute vulnerability to scrummer in South Texas. God. However, okay, I think they've got. I hate it when the thing gets. Not going to. Meantime, South Texas would have to make do with a few animal license practitioners in Dr. Jared Harrison, man, in South Texas. Large animal mobile veteran, so it's one of the few. He said the story has been a problem for at least 3 decades. No shit. Like I said, you jack up the fucking tourism prices, you won't get any college of course the war on university by these right wingers because people had to say people won't be following their propaganda so much. So this is what happens. Okay, well let's get back to it. Has graduated in Texas from Texas A&M University of Veterinary Medicine, and remembers that even back then there was recruitment efforts to try to encourage qualified veterinarians to move to the Rio Grande Valley. Similarly, the is different on 40 today. Yep. Yeah, there it is. A shortage of animal practice veterinarians in South Texas could pose the risk of a regional resource strain amid the New World screwworm outbreak. No shit. According to the report by the Executive Director of U.S. Livestock Technician Service, American Animal Health, Justin Wells, 1% of registered veterinarians specialize in food animal practice. These veterinarians are qualified to inspect livestock, administer vaccines, provide critical guidance to. Hey, didn't those do a little cutting on USDA, especially for the food inspection? Well, they support viability in family farms, local economy, and safety of food and our tables. Wells writes, yet the United States has lost 9% of the food animal veterinarians since the 1950s, and the numbers of these critical vets continue to climb. We're doing everything we can, said Dr. Lloyd Taylor, who's actually commander of Texas Veterinary Medical Association and a licensed veterinarian in Texas. Texas explained that TVMA currently does not know the number of large animal veterinary, specifically in South Texas, but there's a workforce study underway to complete that much needed. I wish to give you a number, but we don't know. He said, we'd love to have the information for us for the public, but and for the legislation. Yeah. TVA lobbied Texas legislature to make the study happen, and the Texas Higher Education Board is an organization putting it together. Yeah. Yeah, if they don't mind forcing a Bible down in the school curriculum. Jill said it will be completed by December, but there may be a preliminary report before that. She doesn't know if it continues to spread with the new world screwball or the first report to be completed. One thing Texas legislation has done in terms of eliminating the shortage of fund is the fund the reward incentive program in order to incentivize graduates to provide rural veterinary care to underserved area. The first receipts will be announced sometimes next few weeks. I guess the USDA provide funding for similar incentives. Tell foresees that these efforts sparking change. It's the first time the state even funded the program, so we are looking forward to seeing the difference they can make. It's also help the shortage. Texas Animal Health Commission has a certification program which people can be certified screw motor inspector, and 700 people are already participating, according to this. The Board of Veterinary Medicine granted temporary license. If needed, the USDA can mobilize this personnel in Texas. And the more the people are qualified to inspect animals and determine if screamers has infested the animal, in that case, they can help direct the veterinary resources. There's not a lot of false alarm, and the force can concentrate there where they are needed, said Taylor. He added that the determine if sterile flies need to be released to prevent the spread. The silver lining is a significant amount of Texas tax grabbers are going into rural veterinary practice, Taylor has. He added that Texas A&M is seen to increase the graduates going to seeing an increase in the rural Texas program. Sorting incident just in Texas to explain that it expected other rural communities and regions across the U.S. where the agriculture industry is prominent. According to Welsh, more than 500 counties across 46 states of federally designated veterinary shortage area. But his ultimate concern is the supply chain for medication to treat and prevent new worm screwworm. As long as we have a good supply chain for drugs to be able to treat this, we're in okay shape, he said, according to Hasselman. The current supply demand is manageable for a handful of cases. So far, but that could change if multiple rats were to come down with infestation once. He said the day the first groomer was taken, he put in a restriction for ordering medication like Decabek. He said the retainer only allowed him to order 6 bottles or 300 doses per week. That's nothing. Hesper said they started from the get-go because they were worried about people panicking and hoarding. You foresee challenges arising as confirmed cases increases. Veterinarians are going to be able to treat every single case that comes across the board. He said we're going to have to instruct how to treat the cases so the owner can actually do themselves, but it's not going to be officially possible for us to do every single case that tests positive. Taylor said one of the influence behind the stories is the question whether or not the community or actually support veterinary or multiple will provide center opportunities for the spouses and family. Many veterans are graduating with insurmountably similar student debt. Yep. He said we were able to get the income to allow them to live a reasonable lifestyle and manage their debts, said Taylor. Henswood added that it's getting more and more difficult to get new veterinary histories of looking at large animals, particularly cattle. Cattle are hard labor. It's hard to get people talking to going out of the country, working, sweating. It's difficult work. Contact with Taylor said about the increasing rates of veterinary students pursuing large animal practice. Hasselman said in his experience that most rural veterinarians reach retirement age. Less and less persons are taking their spot. There's less of us and more cattle than veterinarians tend to tend them. He said from perspective, the situation is leaving large animal veterinary stress things. The biggest issue is getting possible new scrotum samples submitted by able to formulate a planned attack. He said treating scrumers or attends the leaky part of just one case for veteran to spend 3 minutes to an hour or just one animal. If one property has multiple infected animals, it's time for the vet must allocate all the multiplies. As I say, Wednesday need to look for leads and invest in keeping the cat in an open area where they can be monitored and free from brush and other things that could possibly cause wounds or abrasions. And think outside the box when it comes to your pens and fixating. If this one sharp ends on the jacket area that tends to scratch up, you get that tend to before the next cow working season. have no surveillance to take extra care of monitoring newborn calves as they at high risk for umbilical infestation. Behind the scenes, there has been a great amount of coordination with state and federal entities to address rumors. He said he's been taking part in the daily phone calls with the USDA, FDA, and other agencies, such as TAC, the Oklahoma Health and Human Safety in Texas. So right now, the more important thing for public know is that the veterinarians are crucial to prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of new information. Well, there you have it, people. You know, people always complain about, oh, I don't want to pay for a and all that. Well, I'll tell you one thing. You don't have to worry about this sort of veterinarians. They're going to take education. It takes money. And right now, people have less money and can afford, less can afford higher education. We'll probably go to do it or be veterinarians. And this is what happens. To you fucking dumb shit that complain about paying the student loans debt. College are supposed to be made affordable like they did in the 1960s. But no. People say, well, we don't want to have people being small and dumb. And this is what happens. We got a lot of short-sized pricks. We have a white day. Steve Pift, sign out.